Resolution is one of the most important graphic settings in terms of visual quality, but it's also one of the most performance-demanding ones. So, if you're a gamer, then it's only natural that you want to know which resolution is the best. And there are a couple of things to consider here. First, there's the choice among Full HD, Quad HD, and Ultra HD, and second, the aspect ratio. Here, the choice comes to the 16:9 aspect ratio, which is called widescreen, and the 21:9 aspect ratio, which is called ultra-wide. So in this video, we're going to take a look at all these resolutions and aspect ratios and help you decide which of these is the best for you. Let's start with the resolutions. In essence, resolution just determines how many pixels there are on the screen. The more pixels there are, the sharper the image. And there are three resolutions relevant in the gaming world today: Full HD, Quad HD, and Ultra HD. So let's take a look at what these things even mean and what their faults and merits are. We'll start things off with the Full HD. You may also know this resolution as 1080p. It's the lowest resolution of the three, and yet it feels like it was only recently that Full HD was the best possible one, and the choice came down to it and 720p. Nowadays, 720p is only viable if you're streaming or playing on an older console, but 1080p is still alive as ever, despite having two larger resolutions to compete with. So why is that? Well, like we've said, resolution is very GPU demanding. You'd need a very powerful GPU to run anything but esports in over 100 frames per second on higher resolutions. But you can get superb in-game performance in games on 1080p. This resolution is also the best choice if you're planning on getting a 144Hz or 240Hz monitor. Quad HD has this name because it has roughly 4 times the pixel count of 720p, otherwise known as simply HD. It also goes by 1440p, and it even somehow adapted the name 2K, although if we were to get technical, this should be 2.5K. Quad HD strikes a nice balance between performance and visuals. Indeed, almost any mid-range GPU will be able to get over 30 FPS in the latest AAA games in this resolution. This would be perfect, except that 30 to 60 FPS simply is not good enough for some people anymore, especially in competitive gaming. And this is the reason Quad HD never really took off and replaced Full HD. And finally, there's Ultra HD, better known as 4K or 2160p. This is the highest resolution mainstream displays can reach. It has a massive pixel count that's roughly 4 times that of Full HD. As you can imagine, this makes for some truly stunning visuals, but it's also extremely demanding. In fact, it's so demanding that not even the most powerful consumer graphics card, the GTX 1080 Ti, can run new AAA games in it with a stable 60 FPS. So it's fair to say that it won't be a viable option for competitive gaming for at least a couple more years. The second thing we mentioned at the start of this video was the aspect ratio. The most common aspect ratio is 16:9, but there are also 21:9 monitors out there. These allow for a bigger field of vision, which can be great for gaming, although they are slightly more demanding because of the increased pixel count. But the problem here is that not all games support 21:9, so unless you're focusing only on AAA titles, it'll usually take some tweaking or scaling to get games to run on this display properly. Now let's get aspect ratio out of the way first because there's just much less to say about it. 16:9 is the standard here, and for a good reason. The benefits of a 21:9 display for gaming are dubious at best, and as you can imagine, these displays are also more expensive. Of course, they offer very nice non-gaming benefits like bigger work surface and more cinematic experience for watching movies, but when it comes to gaming, we just can't say they're the better option. And with that out of the way, let's talk about resolution. And there's more to talk about here because when it comes to resolution, we really can't say that there is a best one. They all have their advantages, and it'll all come down to what kind of a gamer you are and what you want out of your games. Our advice is this: choose 1080p if you're looking for performance over visual quality. This resolution still has a lot of life in it, and it's definitely the best one if you're aiming to reach 3-digit frame rates. Choose 2K if you're looking for better graphics while still maintaining a stable 60 frames per second. And finally, choose 4K if you want the best graphics you can get and you don't care about not having a 60 FPS. This is where the eye candy's at. But wait, we're not finished. For the longest time, having to decide on a resolution was the PC gamer's problem. But with the introduction of PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, even console gamers get to enjoy this sweet dilemma. Although it's not quite the choice PC gamers are presented with, console gamers will still have to choose between Full HD and Ultra HD variants of their favorite consoles. Our advice is very simple. Only get the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X if you have a 4K TV, because the improvements they offer in 1080p just aren't all that great. If you want to know why this is, then you can check out the details in our videos on the differences between Full HD and 4K versions of the current gen consoles. We have one for both the PlayStation and the Xbox. And that's it. So what do you think? Did we miss anything? Feel free to let us know what you think in the comments below. We appreciate the feedback. As always, we hope that you find this video helpful, and if so, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.